Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my podcast, Genesis, where I am your host, Hennessy's. I want to thank you guys for tuning into my previous first episode of my podcast. I really wish it was on Apple and Spotify, but I'm just having issues with that. And aside from that, I also want to actually be professional and have like an intro and like music and all that stuff. But the inspiration has not come to me yet, so I don't want to force it. I am brainstorming another thing that has to do with transitioning into being on Spotify and Apple. But I digress. You guys, thank you so much for tuning into my first episode. I'm so grateful for you, each and every one of you that took the time out of your day to listen. So thank you. God bless. Today, I wanted to talk about a few things, mostly just the fear that I have with this new chapter in my life. I am going to try to stay on topic and make this episode a little shorter than last at least. I want to talk about, obviously, fear, right? With this new chapter. You guys, I didn't share this last time. I wanted to hold off on it because I felt like it wasn't the time to share it. I am starting school, and by school, college. And it's my first time ever going to college. It's the first time that I actually know what I want to go for, what I want to pursue. I don't want to share what I'm pursuing at the moment, but I am very happy to finally have the opportunity and also the time to, because in the past, probably when I barely moved back to Utah, I really wanted to go to school and I was going to leave living in Delta to pursue cosmetology because I really love that. And as you guys know, if you follow me, I am a makeup artist, a freelance makeup artist. So I figured, why not just do that, right? But it didn't work out. It just wasn't aligned with the path that I was on, so I didn't do it, right? And that was a path that I was trying to pursue way before I moved to Utah. I tried really hard to go to school while I was in San Diego, but I couldn't financially afford to work full-time and go to school. San Diego is super, super, super expensive. It's either you work full-time or you go to school full-time, but if you go to school full-time, you need to have someone paying your rent and paying your bills for you, whether that be like your significant other or having your family, like still living with your family. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I just didn't have that luxury of doing that because that is a luxury, that is a blessing that I just didn't have. And obviously when I moved to Delta, I didn't have the money to move, really. I was literally debating living out of my car just to go to school. I'm not even kidding. I literally was going to do that. I was looking up like windshield covers and how to keep a car warm in the winter. Like, I'm not even kidding. I was going to do that, but one, it's not realistic, and two, it's not safe for women to be living out of a car if someone saw me, you know what I mean? So obviously that didn't work out. So I didn't think about school for the next years until I moved up to the city where I live now. And I don't even know how school came about. I just know that in that moment that I made that decision, it was like the decision to change my life, because obviously I want to be more financially free and abundant. So yeah, I'm starting school. By the time you guys hear this, it'll be my second day of school. And I'm super, super, super duper excited, but also very fearful. I don't know if you know this, but I am dyslexic and I've struggled with it forever. Before, I used to hold a lot of shame to it because I couldn't read. If I tried to read, it would end in failure or frustration. There's so many books that I have started and just have not finished. It's a funny story. I recently, a couple months ago or a month, I don't know, I won a giveaway on Instagram. The little shop that I won from was Buenas Vibras on Instagram. They were giving away an amethyst crystal, so beautiful, and the book The Alchemist, right? And I won. I was so excited, right? And I realized in my stack of books, I already have The Alchemist, and I opened my book that I already had. I was very far in that book that I didn't finish. And, and I was like, what? I already have this book. Anyways, no, yeah, that's my struggle. I pick up books and I just don't finish them. And I feel like that has a lot to do with my ADHD too, which I will talk about in a minute. But yeah, I'm very fearful to fail, but I was informed that there is help for people that struggle with reading and learning. So there's tutoring and there's guidance and all that stuff. So that's really reassuring. The other thing is having ADHD. I always had the assumption that I did. But obviously, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I cannot diagnose myself, but I knew I had some ADHD tendencies, right? I decided that because I'm starting school, I wanted to talk about getting on medication, and that was a really big step for me because growing up Latina, we don't talk about mental health issues. It's not something that is a topic of conversation. Estás triste, ponte a limpiar, saca la basura, para que se te quite la tristeza. And that's not realistic. I mean, yeah, it's, in a sense, they had an idea of how to feel a little bit better. Clean room makes you feel refreshed. Moving your furniture around makes you feel refreshed. It distracts you, yes, but it's not the solution to the issue, right? And if you follow me, obviously you do because you're listening to this, I go to the gym a lot. I meditate in the morning. I journal. There's a lot of things that I'm doing proactively to help my mental health. But it still doesn't, it's not the resolution for me, right? And so I had to open my heart and try to not be resistant to medication. Also because I'm very fearful of addiction and mostly because drug abuse in my family. So I just didn't want to fall down that path. And then also a lot of people that don't have ADHD talk very highly about how it makes them feel like just so wonderful. I don't want to use other words, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, people abuse Adderall. And I didn't want to fall into that category either. So obviously I was very open with my fears to my psychiatrist, and she gave me a packet for me to fill out and then papers to give to people that are close to me to fill out. And at first I was really, really resistant to having someone else diagnose me. Especially because I read just a very slim, I skimmed through the packet I'm supposed to fill out, that I was supposed to fill out because it's already done. And it was really triggering. And the idea of having someone else diagnose me was extra triggering. So I put that off for the longest time. Just talking about it right now makes me really sweaty because it made me super, super nervous and angry. Like, why would she want me to have someone else diagnose me? That is so rude, right? But I had to stop being resistant if I wanted to achieve the change that I was seeking. And who knows, in my thought process, I was like, well, who knows? Maybe I just don't have ADHD. Maybe it's just like my anxiety at an all-time high, and we could still work on finding medication for my anxiety and my depression. But filling that out brought back a plethora of memories. I had totally forgot about it, but in 3rd grade, I remember sitting in class and then having a teacher, like a different teacher lady. She was like the school therapist. I don't know what she was, but I spent a lot of time with that lady. She pulled me out of class for the very first time. I was in 3rd grade. She pulled me out of class and she sat down to read with me and do a bunch of other activities. And one, I couldn't read. I struggled. I know what letters are. I knew what letters are and I know the sounds of them, but everything was just muffled to me. And she was trying to teach me to read without using my finger or without using a ruler. But I couldn't do it. I never could, right? So that's why I have an issue with reading. One, dyslexic, and I just don't want to sit there and struggle. I don't like to struggle. And the other memories that flooded in was being in middle school and before class started. Every morning in middle school, we had this news show that we watched. I don't even know what it was called, but in the middle of that, at the beginning of it, like kind of middle, beginning, whatever, I would have to go to a different classroom so I could get work done from the previous day with the teacher one-on-one. It was a really small class. There was other students in there. I think it was about 5 of us, but teachers would help us one-on-one. And that continued throughout high school. I took a class that was supposed to be study hall, which it was. It helped me keep on the right path, like keep on track with my grades and stuff. And I had a teacher that helped me with my reading and all that stuff and helped me with math. Like, it was a lot of tutoring. Once I left that class is when my grades plummeted. I started failing at school. And that was my senior year in high school. I just decided, you know what? I don't want to carry the shame of having to have teachers take me out of class anymore. I just don't want it, And I had every right in my teenage mind to say, F you, I don't need this. And I set myself up for failure. So this time around, starting college for the first time ever, I don't want to set myself up for failure because I want to be abundantly financially free. I want to succeed in life, and I want to break generational curses and just be guidance for other people, right? And also be, how do I say this? I guess. I just want to guide people into not being afraid of medication, especially because, like I said, growing up Latina, we don't talk about mental health issues. And I know a lot of, like, our generation, my age, and people that are younger, they're breaking that cycle. They're breaking those chains. We're all talking about mental health now, and I think it's the most beautiful thing ever. So, I started my Adderall, and it's barely my second day, but it feels so nice, you guys. It feels so refreshing to not feel on edge, to not feel like I'm not gonna accomplish things, or that I don't know, it just feels like I'm gliding through my day. I still feel my anxiety, but the Adderall helps me so much. Like, it changed my life in 2 days, and I'm only taking half a pill as of right now. So that's where I am in life. And obviously, like I said, I'm very fearful, but I know that I'm not setting myself up for failure. I'm asking for help. And that's another thing. I think it has a lot to do with, like, being the oldest, Have you guys watched Encanto? Oh, so cute. I love the oldest sister because obviously I'm the oldest sister, so that resonates with me. But being the oldest has really jeopardized me in a way that I don't ask for help. I'm very stubborn. I am the kind of person that, no, I'll figure it out myself. Why do I need help? You know what I mean? And also because, like, when you're the oldest, you're expected to succeed, right? People don't say that, but it's there. Hi. It's kind of scary to start this new path because college for me was never something that I thought about. It was never financially possible for me. I've always wanted to go to school. Back in the day, years ago, I was shooting to go to school for cosmetology. And living in San Diego, it made it impossible. You know how many times I saw counselors at different schools trying to find a schedule that worked for me, and it didn't work ever. I think I went to about 4 different schools, and 1, it was not financially possible for me. FAFSA was just a hassle. 2, I could not work full-time and go to school. It would leave me basically broke, more than I already was. I was literally living paycheck to paycheck, you guys. I'm not even kidding. Way worse than I am now. Like, right now I feel a lot better because I have a good steady job and all that stuff. But back then it was just so difficult. And then when I moved to Utah, I still wanted to do cosmetology. And at the time I found a school. I was approved for FAFSA finally, right? But I had no place to live. I had no idea what I was going to do for work. And I was really debating living in my car. At the time, I had a little Honda Civic. That thing is tiny. Do you guys know what a Honda Civic is? I didn't either until I had one. And that thing is pretty small. You don't want to sleep in that. So, yeah, I was going to sleep in a car to just go to school and pursue my cosmetology dreams because I am a freelance makeup artist, self-taught, and I figured why not just get the license for it, and do everything. But it just didn't work. So I just treaded on my path, found a financially stable job in a company that I really enjoy working for. And now I have the opportunity to not only work full-time, but also go to school. That does not interfere with my work schedule. And it feels like the right time. I'm going to get emotional. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back. I apologize. I am back. I just felt a rush of gratitude come into my body, like just overtake my body, and I just needed to sit in that and be grateful for it and just thank the universe. So I am back. I feel a lot of gratitude because I never thought I would be able to go to school. After so many times of it not working out, I figured that this time would be the exact same. But I'm glad it's not. I'm glad that I am on the path that aligns me with the opportunity to pursue my podcast, to go to school, to still give myself room for creativity for my makeup page, and still have all the guidance that I need and still be able to model. And it's just a lot to be grateful for, but a lot to be fearful of, because we're all fearful of failure. But it's okay. People fail every day and start over every day. And why can't I do the same? People are doing this every single day of their lives and without guidance, and I just should not hold fear to the opportunity to prosper financially and everything else that follows. I also am grateful because I'm not doing this alone. I'm gonna get emotional again. My best friend, I don't know if I will just say that I am very grateful for him. And he's starting this path too, and I'm so excited for us to grow, and we finally both decided what we want to pursue, and we're not going to do this alone. If we're struggling in school, we're going to have each other to struggle with, and it's just been the nicest thing because ever since I moved back to Utah, he's been so present in my life and such a great partner, honestly, to guide me and get me back in check. And I'm just so grateful for him, and also obviously grateful for all my other friends. But he's going on to the path of starting school with it, never knowing that we were ever going to go to school, if we ever could do it, if we were smart enough to do it. And it's just nice to have that, not be alone. So yeah, I'm just super excited to start medication and not be fearful of it, go to school and still have every opportunity that I want, and still be able to do my podcast, you guys. I was originally thinking to do this every Tuesday, drop a podcast episode, but did you guys hear my belly? Oh my gosh. But it's not realistic and it offers me no balance. So every other Tuesday will be sufficient enough. With that being said, I will cut this short because I don't want to make it any longer. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Tell me what you think about this podcast episode. What resonated with you? What's some advice that you'd like to give me? I would love to hear it. Other than that, remember that your vibe attracts your tribe, and I am very happy to have you a part of my tribe. See you guys on the flippity flip.